Hey guys, Kirk here from Kirk's Aquariums, bringing you guys yet another episode. Today we are going to do a fish room tour. So first fish room tour of the new year. So I hope you guys have had a good Christmas and a good new year. And I really plan to be making more videos this year than last year. So we had a bit of a drop off last year, and I really plan to get some more videos out for you guys. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. Alright, so our first tank, we have got 3 beautiful koi angels. Now these are from Elmo, so hopefully their genes pass through. It looks like they do. They've got nice clear top fins. They've got the nice koi pattern starting to form on them. So just keeping these 3, growing them out. Probably going to keep them as my future broodstock. All their brothers and sisters have been sold off. And down below we've got our Longfin corydoras. Haven't had a chance to breed these guys yet. Sort of just been growing them up and just keeping them doing well and feeding them well. And once I have some time, I'm going to try and get these guys into breeding, and hopefully we can get some Longfin panda corydoras, because these are a really cool fish. Not the most cheapest corydora, but really cool corydora. Panda, Longfin, corydora, and some baby koi angelfish. Also, we have a few Longfin albino bristlenose in here as well. So we'll move on to the next tank next door. Sorry for the reflection. We have our turquoise rainbows, doing well. Probably been laying some eggs in the mop, but I have not pulled that mop in some time, as you can see with all the hair algae all over it. Bit of a mess this tank, but work in progress. I'm gonna move these guys out of here and put them in a bigger tank and clean all this tank up and get this tank back into just growing out some more smaller fish rather than keeping these big nice turquoise in here. So moving on down, hard to see, but we've got our our broodstock of L333 plecos. Really lovely looking fish. And I've got about 6 of these guys. There's another one here in his cave. Haven't got them to spawn yet, but also haven't really put too much effort into them either. Just been enjoying having them and watching them sort of grow out. And we'll get there eventually, get into breeding these guys. But yeah, just thought I'd show you the L333 plecos. So ages ago, I told you guys I would show you my baby peppermint bristlenose spawn. It's been a little while, so these are the, camera's focused. It's been a little while, and these are my first spawn of baby peppermint bristlenose. I think they look absolutely amazing when they're babies. The white is really bright on them, and just a really good looking fish. So keeping these, I think I've got about 6 of them in here. They sort of compete with the herd of snails for some algae wafers and other food. So that's what's going on in this tank. We'll move over to the next tank. Alright, so moving over to this tank, we have a nice pair of red koi angels. I'm calling this guy Elmo Jr. simply because he has such a nice looking red/orange tone coming through on the front of his head there. Really nice clear looking fins, and his partner here, not so orange, but hopefully these guys have laid eggs already together, so I know they're a nice pair. They didn't successfully keep the eggs. They laid some eggs on this Anubias leaf in the background there, but was unable to successfully raise them. So we're hopefully trying again, because I think these guys, being both of them hopefully koi, would make a solid strain when it comes to breeding. So red koi angels, Elmo Jr. living on strong. And then down below we've got some super red bristlenose babies. This is a really small spawn. I think there's only about 6 or 7 in here, but I've got a lot more coming up. So there is a lot of super red bristlenose babies in the fish room at the moment, which is kind of cool. But they're just chowing down on some algae wafers. Alright, over in this tank we have a small spawn, or small batch I should say, of some baby Bosmani rainbows. Haven't had a huge amount of success with breeding these guys. I've always ended up only getting like 6 or 7 out of a batch, as opposed to me other rainbow fish where I get like a couple of hundred. But these guys are growing up well, growing up slow like all rainbows do. but a bit more popular species being the Bosmani rainbow. So these guys will get a nice blue and yellow to them with the males, and the females kind of get sort of a greeny yellowy look, nowhere near as colourful as the males do. And then on the filter in the back there, we have another decent spawn of baby super red bristlenose. They're in the Anubias everywhere, they're on the gravel everywhere, and there's heaps of them in the back there on the sponge filter. So I think there's about 20-25 of them in here. These guys are growing up quite well, getting a little bit bigger, and then we're going to look at taking them into my local fish shop. Alright, one of my favourite tanks, my Longfin albino corydora tank. These guys just got fed some frozen bloodworms, and as you can see, they are all fat and happy and chowing down. I absolutely love these guys' tails. How can you not like these guys? Longfin albino corydoras, absolutely amazing looking fish. I've been very excited to continue to breed these guys. Again, haven't been in the fish room as much as I'd like to be lately, but I have been churning out real small numbers, and I have saved a few spawns and eggs of these guys in the not so recent past. And yeah, hopefully we'll get a few more spawning, because I'm trying to fatten them up now. I'm really trying to get in the fish room to get some stuff breeding, and these guys are definitely one of the fish that I really plan to keep turning out with more babies. So hopefully more and more people can enjoy this awesome fish, the Longfin albino corydora. Alright, moving over to this tank. These guys just had a feed of frozen bloodworms as well, because I'm trying to get these guys to trigger to spawn again. So the female's looking pretty fattened up there, as you can see, and this is the male over here. Got some nice size to him. These are the parents of all the other koi angels that you've seen. So these guys aren't pure koi angels, they're a bit of a mix between like a marbled and a koi, and I just kept the ones that looked to be the most koi looking out of their spawn. So that's the result of the other angels that you've seen before. And then in the bottom, we've got our broodstock of Longfin albino bristlenose. These guys have been producing eggs. We've got a decent amount of females in here, and I think we've got about like 2 or 3 males in here. I think I've got like 4 or 5 females and like 2 males. So I don't know, probably should just have 1 male, but at the same time, don't know where to put the other male, and they haven't caused any problems with each other as of yet. But we've just got some algae wafers in there as well for them to chow down on, and we're trying to fatten them up and get the females all filled with eggs, because we want another spawn. Moving over to the tank next door, we've got our beautiful pair of Philippine blue angelfish. This is the male just here, and over here, all fat and sassy, we have the female. So again, I've been trying to condition these guys to breed as well, because this is a really nice looking angelfish, and I think a lot more people are getting into the blue sapphires or Philippine blue angelfish, as you will. Just really nice blue on them, those black stripes, and then just their top fin as well. Just a really solid looking angelfish. And down below we have our broodstock of L397 plecos, or candy stripe plecos, I think they're also called. And they're in their caves, loving life, been out and about. They're getting quite decent size. So there's one on the log just here, nice colour on them. And then you can see this big boy here, decent sort of size pleco, but really nice. I think they look better when they're babies or when they're younger. When they get older, they sort of lose that real intense bright orange, but we've still got some nice colour in this male just here. And this guy's got plenty of colour on the side of his fins there as well. So that is what's going on in this tank. No spawning going on just yet, but plenty of conditioning, and hopefully not too long and we'll get some baby blue angels, and hopefully with any luck some baby L397 plecos. Alright, moving on down. This is still a batch of Goida River rainbows. This is like the baby batch. The last one's left. I have stopped breeding these guys for a while because no one wants them in my local fish store. So what I thought was a cool fish, turns out not everyone else thinks is a cool fish. And that's just the way it goes in the fish hobby, I think. As a fish breeder, you kind of, if you want to breed for profit, you're kind of wanting to breed what is popular in the hobby, not what you think is popular in the hobby. So I really like these guys when they get older. As I've said in many other videos, the real nice red that they produce with the black fins and stuff, really striking rainbow. But as you can see right now, babies, this would be a nice time to send them to the fish shop. But unless you know what these guys are going to look like, they look pretty boring sort of looking fish at the moment. So when the lights first come on, they all look decent. Like this guy here has a bit of red coming through in his body. But for now, they sort of just look a bit average. And I'm kind of just going to hold on to them and grow them up until they're a little bit more decent size. And then hopefully the red will start coming through on them a lot more. And that way, when I take them to the fish shop, yeah, they'll be a bit bigger. But hopefully people will see that they've got quite a nice color to them, and that'll just help them sell in the fish shop a bit better. So that is what's going on in this tank. The plants, since I've planted it months and months ago, have nicely settled in. And we've got some crypts, some blue stricta at the back. Can't remember what this one is here. I think it's something red Luigia, something like that I think it's called. I probably just mangled that name. And then down below we have a small spawn. I think there's only about 12 or 15 of Longfin albino bristlenose. Again, they're sort of competing for the algae wafers with the herd of snails that I've got in this tank as well. But that is what's going on in this tank. Just a big old batch of baby Goyder River rainbows that no one wants to buy, but that's okay because I'm happy to grow them out and enjoy them in my nice green planted tank. Thought I'd show you this guy as well, my black ghost knife, who isn't so small anymore. Still awaiting to go into his final home, which is his big 6-foot tank, but his owner has still yet to fix his 6-foot tank so this guy can go up in there. So for now, he lives in this big massive tank in my fish room, which is designed to hold a lot of baby fish and grow them out. But for now, that is just home to my big black ghost knife, who absolutely loves his little log cave right now. So I thought I'd quickly show you this guy, and I've got some other fish in the background as well. We've got some crimson spot rainbows, we've got some filament barbs, and we've got some Congo tetras. These guys are all supposed to be in my big 6-foot tank, and at the moment they are still in this tank with my black ghost knife fish. So that's what's going on in this tank. Quick little update on that, but nothing too exciting until the 6-foot tank gets fixed. I'm going to show you guys this tank from the over the top down, because the front of it is a little bit dirty and it's not focusing on the babies in here. So in this tank, we'll see we have got a lot of baby red tuxedo guppies. So these guys I've picked up quite a few years ago now, and I've still held on to the strain, and I sort of just put them in ponds outside and never really took much notice of them. And then in the winter I had to move them in because we get a little bit too cold here in Brisbane out in the winter, and the guppies without a heater just did not like being in that kind of temperature. So I moved them into my fish room, and then when I was sort of burnt out of the hobby, I was still trying to get myself back into the here a lot more. And I knew breeding fish was going to do that and get me excited again to be in here. And what better reason to go back to the roots and start breeding baby guppies again. So really easy fish to breed. Anyone watching that hasn't bred guppies before, go and get yourself some guppies, put them in a tank with some Java moss or some Java fern, and you will have a fun time seeing all the baby guppies that you will produce. So if you're new to guppies, basically you get like 3 females to 1 male, and just get a nice colored up male, and just get 3 or 4 females, put them in a nice sort of like 2-foot tank in by themselves, and just have it nice and heavily planted with a sponge filter in there like so, and you will have heaps and heaps of baby guppies in a few months time. So that's kind of what I did here. And in this tank down below, it's kind of a blue background tank. We've got them all up here. As you can see, there's some big pregnant females going on, and I've got a big cluster of Java fern down the back, and it's actually quite a decent sized tank, this tank. So I've got basically a few babies in here at the moment, but what I try and do is I try and net the babies out of this tank and then move them over next door into this tank here, so that way the babies don't accidentally get eaten and we sort of get maximum yield out of the baby guppies. I think we've got like a little albino one up there as well. But yeah, this is like the broodstock over here, and you can see I've got a lot more females, and I think I've got like 3 or 4 nice coloured up males sort of going to town on all these big females. So red tuxedo guppies are doing well and breeding nicely. Alright, down low here we have our baby Longfin albino corydoras, and there's a bit of a food going in here for them right now. So I just dropped some little micro pellets in here for them. And there's a fair few in here. There's I think about 15 or 20 in here, and I've just moved them into this bigger tank from a smaller tank just so they could grow out quicker, because I'm going to plan on taking these to my local fish store. And in here somewhere is also some royal whiptail catfish. Here's a big boy here, hiding behind the fern. And then I think I've got a normal bristlenose in here as well, but it's mainly just the Longfin albino corydoras in here, getting big, getting ready to be sold. So that's what's going on in this tank. We'll move on to the next tank. All right, down in this tank we have some of our bigger fish. We've got some gold dust Geophagus growing out quite nicely. They look absolutely beautiful. We've got our broodstock of super red bristlenose growing out in their caves, pumping out some eggs. And then we moved our broodstock of Bosmani rainbowfish down into this tank as well. These guys were in the tank that the albino longfin corys were in, and I just thought I'd move these guys out into this tank so they didn't pick on the little baby corys in the other tank. And I just pulled a mop today from this tank filled with baby Bosmani eggs. So hopefully in the next few days we will get some of them hatch. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys this sort of tank. It's growing out nicely. We've got the plants growing in nicely, and we've got our broodstock of stir-bait corydoras down the back there. They are doing fine, and they are all chunky. We haven't had any breeding going on, but we probably have had them laying eggs. But with all these bigger fish in here, they definitely would have been getting eaten up. So I haven't been saving any stir-bait corydor eggs. Say that, and I think there's an egg on the glass right here. Looks like an egg. So they probably bred this morning, but all the other fish would have eaten those eggs already. So haven't saved any, but plan to breed a lot more corydoras sometime soon as well, because I really like breeding the stir-bait corys. They're a really nice looking fish. But these gold dust geos are looking absolutely amazing right now, and they're only going to look better once they get older. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. That's pretty much most of the tanks in the fish room. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. I am really trying to get back into filming for you guys and filming the fish room and getting back into the fish room in general. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.